Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Bennett Tchaikovsky. Welcome to Accounting Ethics for this fall 2022 at Irvine Valley College. This is the accounting professor, and I'm doing this video because the class is being taught asynchronously and online. So if you're anywhere in the world, you can take this class. And let's kind of go through and take a look over here. My disclaimer and copyright notice: the information and opinions in this presentation are those of the author only, and not the author's employers or affiliated organizations, including but not limited to Irvine Valley College, the South Orange County Community College District, or California State University at Fullerton. The presentation is for educational purposes only. It does not constitute any legal or accounting advice whatsoever. This presentation is copyright 2008 to 2022 by Bennett Tchaikovsky. All rights are reserved. Any distribution is strictly prohibited. So I want to thank my subscribers who have signed up for my intermediate accounting course. That course is a little bit different than this one because for that course this fall, I'm going to be offering it. It's going to have Monday night Zoom meetings where we're going to be Zooming and going through various different intermediate accounting issues. With this one over here, this is 100% online. It is asynchronous. So you're going to be doing a lot of the work at your own pace, but there's going to be assignments that are going to be due every single week. The textbook that I use is Gordon Klein's. It's a Wiley publication, Ethics in Accounting, a Decision-Making Approach. This is a great textbook because it is easy to read. I have only had positive feedback from my students who have read the text. And you can either buy it for used for pretty cheap, or you can purchase it for 25 bucks used. This will satisfy the accounting ethics requirement under ethics studies for the state of California. Now, if you're in a different state, you want to make sure that this class will satisfy the requirement. I know South Carolina, they don't have one because they use the PEF, I think that's, what is it, the professional ethics take home, whatever it might be. They use that to satisfy the requirement. But here it's really minimum of 3 or 4 quarter units in accounting ethics, professional responsibilities, or accounting or fraud. So that's what this class was really designed to do, is to meet that requirement. So California residents, your cost is going to be about 46 bucks a unit. It's a 4-unit course. And when you're taking the class, I'm going to strongly recommend you take the class pass, no pass, or party, no party. And it's just because the class will not transfer to any 4-year school, but what it will do is, at least in California, it will satisfy that accounting ethics requirement in ethics studies. So money makes people do very crazy things, and we've all seen it. And that's why ethics are so important for an accountant, because you are going to have a lot of different things during your career where you're going to be approached and you're going to have to do the right thing. And in the words of John Ward, who mentored me many years ago, he said, Bennett, 2 things you got to remember: do the right thing, the truth will set you free. And those, if you can live your life that way as an accountant, you'll be much happier, because guess what? If someone's trying to get you to do an illegal act as an accountant, right? As accountants, we have 2 things that are going to happen to us if we do something bad. The first thing that's going to happen is we're going to get fired, or possibly sued. The second thing that's going to happen is we're going to lose our CPA license. And trust me, you do not want to lose that license. So really, when we're looking at this, I can't change who you are, because I can't go back in time and tell you not to do something. Like, oh, don't take that from the sibling and blame your younger brother. I can't do that, right? But what I can do is make you aware of different types of situations you're going to be encountering while you're in the workplace. And I'm not going to take like Enron or WorldCom or some of these other things. Rather, I'm going to look at it more in a practical standbook. Gordon's textbook does such an amazing job of going through different situations. He takes real life things, like there was a Price Waterhouse, incident where a female partner was denied partnership because she was told to wear dresses. I mean, there's things like that which just seem crazy, but yeah, that was a Supreme Court case, and it's something that we're going to be looking at in the class in one of the discussion groups. And the other part of this too is that when I'm going, and really, this class is really meant to give you those tools you'll need as a CPA to be successful when dealing with ethical issues. And I'm not out to punish my students, right? A lot of four-year schools have a requirement, and this is something you want to really make yourself aware of, is that some of these four-year schools will say, oh, Bennett, you've got to come in with a 2.3 GPA for your class. If you go above a 2.6, you're going to be in trouble. And I absolutely hate that. And, the grades are going to come in where they're going to come in. But again, this is really about you more learning and having to go through and deal with different ethical situations. And when I'm going through and grading, because there's going to be a little bit of writing, right? So you're going to have to write responses in your discussion posts. You're going to have to reply to the posts of others. And the whole point of this, though, is I'm not looking for a perfect answer. I'm looking for your own self-exploration, which I think is really critical in terms of going through and learning about ethics. Now, the course structure, 16 chapters. Semester is about 16 weeks, about 1 to 2 chapters each week. For every chapter, you're going to take a multiple choice discussion quiz, discussion groups. You're going to leave a meaningful post, and you're going to respond to the post of another student. For video quizzes, in the past, I've used All the Queen's Horses, which is amazing, and Theranos, Out for Blood, in Silicon Valley. These will be provided to you to watch free of cost. There's going to be an individual project, and I'll talk about that if you choose the class. And then there's going to be a final exam, which will be in 2 parts, and that also you'll learn a little bit more. And in terms of course resources, so in Gordon's book, there were no PowerPoint slides. But what I did, though, was I created PowerPoint slides using his material, and I did it for all 16 chapters. And then I recorded videos of those PowerPoints and kind of giving like my own takes on the matter. And those videos are not available publicly, right? So on my YouTube channel, anytime I don't own the copyright to the material, or if I have students on the video, you're not going to see that you're not going to see that being public. And I'm very careful about what I post on my channel for many good reasons. And the ethics materials that I have is not something you would ever find publicly. So you also will see, you'll see videos for every chapter, right? So if you're looking to learn, every week you can watch one of my videos. Not required, but it's there for you to do. You can, supplement your reading that way. Samples on how to write and respond to discussion groups. I'm a really firm believer in providing you, solutions to most of the questions. With ethics, there can be more than one solution. I'm really, again, looking for more recent things, and there's not going to be any kind of outside materials or other fees. So what's kind of fun about the book is that it covers in a couple different sections. The first one is basically the framework. Then you're kind of talking about unethical behaviors like why do we cheat, greed, corruption, and collusion, fraud and earnings management, professional conduct, confidentiality, conflicts of interest, independence, and then other responsibilities are duties as a whistleblower, duties of public company auditors under SOX, duties of tax professional, duties of fiduciaries, and then in the accounting workplace. Now, before we go, if you are interested in taking this class, you feel free to leave a comment, or if you want to send me an email message, my email is right over here, 1812cpa@gmail.com. But over here, if we go to ivc.edu and you kind of come over here and you look at, I think it's under, if you go to apply now, and right over here, it's kind of a friendly website. I'm a new student, or I'm a returning student. So you basically would come over here and you basically would go through and you would say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and apply to IVC. Now, one of the things about Accounting 220 at Irvine Valley College is that if you kind of look over here at the fall semester at our classes right over here, and just give it a moment. I love the website. Just hold on a second. So we're now in the fall 2022 schedule. I got that by basically going over here to the class schedule. I basically clicked on all classes, and of course it's not working again, but over here, I go to all classes, I go to accounting. This is basically up here for summer. And then over here, if I just change the term to fall, and then this is where it's going to go through and pop up. So if I come down and the class is Accounting 220, we have these sequenced by numbers. Right over here, you'll basically see this. Now, when you look at this, there's a prerequisite. The prerequisite is going to be for accounting 1B or accounting 1BH. When you come over here and you basically, if you kind of go through and look, apply for admission, you may also have to show proof of health insurance, but again, I don't think it's overly burdensome. You'll go through all like these different steps. One of the thing is that if you have to go through and clear a prerequisite, right, what you're going to do over here is you're going to basically, and let me kind of slow this down a bit. So you're going to go over here, you're going to say prerequisite and co-requisite, complete a request to clear prerequisites. You're going to come down over here and you're going to go to student forms. And we're going to go over here to prerequisite placement clearance. So this is going to actually take you to a form that you're going to go through and fill out. You're basically going to say over here, I'm looking to clear what the class is. You would say accounting 1B, and then you would basically say, okay, for 2022. And then essentially you would go through in all transcripts, you'd have to basically go through and submit transcripts. Now, if you're going through and trying to clear this for managerial accounting, as long as the class says managerial accounting or cost accounting, I will go through and clear the class. So feel free to kind of go through and to do that as you're going through and going through this process. So it does take a little bit of work, but again, if you're registering for a new school, it's kind of like what happens. But in any event, I want to thank you for being with me here today. And I want to thank all of you who have registered for my intermediate accounting class. It's going to be a lot of fun, but this class is also fun too. It's just very, very different. So thank you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at 1812cpa@gmail.com. Have a great day.